هنا صوت العرب من أمريكا.
راديو صوت العرب من الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية بنيويورك وواشنطن وميشيغان. استمعوا لنا على راديو صوت العرب من أمريكا. راديو صوت العرب من أمريكا، عندما يستمع العالم إلى صوت العرب.
We are going to move to the Q&A portion. I'm going to unmute the borough president. We have a question coming in from
نحن في بث مباشر أصدقائنا من مدينة بروكلين مع عمدة بروكلين ومجموعة أسئلة الجالية، كل الأعراق المقيمة هنا في مدينة بروكلين من ضمنها الجالية العربية ممثلة في مجموعة. هذا عمدة مدينة بروكلين إريك آدم.
We should allocate a fund, a sum of money to advertise on ethnic radio, ethnic newspapers, and ethnic cable programs. As I move throughout the city and the borough, I know that the various ethnic communities, they communicate through their networks. Number one, the language that is spoken, as well as the forms of media that they are used to. And these various forms of media can be used for instructions, give information about the small business loans that are available, as well as medical and health care. Even the announcement that came over recently telling all New Yorkers that they should wear some form of face covering, either a scarf or some form of cloth. That information should have gone to all of our ethnic communities, and we could do that through our ethnic media. I think there must be a designated fund allocated to the ethnic media to be intentional about reaching their readership or listenership and their population.
We have a question from Jaya. Jaya, do you want to ask your question?
Yeah, my question is from Borough President Eric. There are still subways. There is no social distancing is maintained. So what are we doing to maintain that? Because there are a lot of crowd, and those who are into daily wages, so they are going to work, but there is no social distancing. So why can't we stop subways for some time, so that till the time this COVID can be cured?
Yeah, it's so important, and there have been many conversations about do we shut down the city completely, as Public Advocate Jamani Williams has called for, or how do we make sure that we still provide some of those basic essential services? COVID-19, the highest level of fatalities are among those with pre-existing conditions. 94% of the people who died from COVID-19 are dealing with pre-existing health conditions. And so if we close down the city, that population, senior population, still must receive some of the basic services from food to medicine to other care that many of the adult daycare centers that were providing a service for them no longer exist now. So we are, number one, calling on the governor to reshape the adult daycare centers so they can provide a greater need of services for our seniors, an expansion of telemedicine and telecommunication like Zoom or WebEx and other type programs, Skype, that we could utilize better, and then target some of those areas where people are not following social distancing, because how good of a job have we done to actually let people know what that actually means? There were several houses of worship where people were still going in and in close proximity to each other. So we must get that information out, and then we must do a light enforcement. I don't believe we should have the police having a heavy-handed level of enforcement. We should do a light enforcement to remind people and to encourage people to participate in social distancing.
Thank you so much, and it's a very good, the initiative has been taken from you, and because I'm from the Punjabi TV channel, and it's a Punjabi network, and everybody is very right, so people want to know in their own language so they can understand. There are many people.
نحن في بث مباشر مع عمدة مدينة بروكلين لمتساكني بروكلين كل الأعراق من ضمنها العرق العربي. نحاول أن نوصل صوتنا لعمدة بروكلين كجالية عربية. إن لديكم أسئلة يسعدنا توصيل أسئلتكم لعمدة بروكلين.
This is Abu Tahir from Time Television in Bangladesh, which you visited many times. My question is to tell everyone, not only the borough president, there's the sad days for Bangladeshi community, which is we lost about 60 people within 2 weeks. Today we lost the president of Bangladesh Society, which is which represents all Bangladeshi living in New York and United States. He just lost his fight by coronavirus at about 4:30 in the morning at Almost Hospital. So it is a very difficult time going through our whole community, and the whole community is devastated and sad about the loss of their beloved one. As I told you, about 60 people has been, died by the coronavirus. As a community, journalist, we are serving the community last 25 years. We have 24-hour TV channel and also the weekly store, which you visited as well. But the thing is that we never have that kind of challenge in our life. All the business has been shut down. All the advertisers, they are not in the business. So we are almost run out we have almost shut down the business because there is no way we can continue, because there is no other source we can get money from the people except our advertisers. So my question is, in order to survive and serve the community, because still we are continuing the service every day. We have about 3 shows in our TV, and we are doing our online publication to serve the community and give them advice what they're supposed to do. Do you have anything in your hands right now which you can provide the service and feed the ethnic community of the Brooklyn and in other places?
No, the borough president's office, we do not have any resources to do that, but we believe on the state and city level, there should be, as I indicated, an allocation of funds that will go directly to the various ethnic media in the city, and that is our call from the governor and the mayor's office to reach out and provide this important service. So this is not a handout. It is a much-needed communication that must take place in our various ethnic communities, and that is why we're reaching out to both the state and the city to do so.
Thank you very much. We have a question coming in.
نحن في بث مباشر مع عمدة مدينة بروكلين أعزائنا الكرام، فكل من له أسئلة تجاه الوضع الحالي لكورونا يسعدنا تقديم أسئلتكم لعمدة بروكلين. هذا الاجتماع أو هذا اللقاء خاص بالأعراق المتواجدة في بروكلين.
In connection with the announcement that came from the federal government that all masks, such as surgical masks and N95 masks, should be used by hospital personnel only. I had a conversation with the Commissioner of the Department of Health. They're going to hand down a written ruling to give a better explanation of that, because it seems to be a little unclear at this time. That it appears as though that we're also talking about police and first responders, and so we're trying to get clarity on that. But we believe also that if individuals can't use surgical or N95 masks, that using a scarf, using it the correct way, I asked the Department of Health to give demonstrations on how the scarf should be worn, what is the proper way to do so. Some people are only covering their mouths. Some people don't believe that they should cover their mouths and nose. So we need a clearer explanation of that. The governor announced several weeks ago that those who are in correctional facilities upstate through Contrast, they are making hand sanitizers. Since Brooklyn has one of the largest population and New York City has one of the largest group of people who go to those correctional facilities, we believe that we should have a large amount of those hand sanitizers distributed throughout our various community, and that is one of the communications we're going to do with the governor's office as well to get the hand sanitizers here. Assemblywoman Latrice Walker raised that issue yesterday on a briefing call with the governor's office, and we're waiting for communications on how do we get these hand sanitizers here. And so in the area of masks, the city is moving away from having everyday residents use masks. They want them to use a scarf, but hand sanitizers, we're trying to get a bulk of hand sanitizers here inside the city.
We have a question from Carmina Fonseca from El Correo. Carmina?
Yes, hi, good morning, everyone. And thank you, President, for this conference call. So basically, in talking a little bit about what everyone has been saying about the essential information given by our ethnic media. In our case, we have provided much information through our website. However, there's this part of the population that relies more on print publications, and we are struggling right now to print publications. So I was wondering, what in those resources that you're looking for, how is it to help, print publications like ours first of all, stay alive and keep reaching this population. I was talking to my publisher, and we're willing to do door-to-door or mail to certain zip codes, but it all depends on the finances. So I was just wondering how this is part of that allocation that you're looking for.
Yes, that's exactly what we're looking for. We believe that this funding stream should go to publications like yours so that we can give that real on-the-ground interaction, communication, door-to-door mailing, writing in the languages that people understand, because as one question was raised earlier, one speaker stated, from my understanding of moving around the city to various ethnic groups, there are a large population of people who only read their papers or listen to their shows in their languages. And we're missing that entire population if we don't become intentional about getting that information. So your publication is exactly what we're talking about when we say that we must put resources to allow you to get it out.
نحن في لقاء مباشر مع عمدة مدينة بروكلين مع كل الأعراق المتواجدة هنا في بروكلين، من ضمنها العرق العربي، الجالية العربية ممثلة في مجموعة من الأصدقاء يمثلون بعض الجمعيات وكذلك راديو صوت العرب من أمريكا.
Mr. Borough President, thank you very much. Believe you me, you are the first government or elected official who ethnic media, not thought about the ethnic media, but going to take some actions by writing a letter to the governor and the mayor. And both of them, we know, are very busy in this challenging time. We would like you to please follow up your letter, because as some of my colleagues said, media needs support right now. So that would be great if you can follow up with the governor. And second, can you give us some idea how many confirmed corona cases are in Brooklyn? And when the testing sites is going to be reopened in Brooklyn? As
I stated, that there is a lack of real understanding when the testing sites are going to reopen. The governor's office is in support of testing locations, and I believe he reported today that there's some conversations around rapid testing, and we're hoping that they use areas like Queens and Brooklyn, which are clearly, both of them are considered to be the epicenter of coronavirus here in the city of New York. And so it is our hopes that these testing sites, if they're open in Brooklyn and Queens, will be open immediately. It's unfortunate that they have two sites that have opened in the Bronx, as I indicated. One site is open on Staten Island. We've closed the only site that we've had in Brooklyn, and that is really troublesome for all of us. And as I speak with you, I'm looking at the numbers now from my team. And Jonah, if you have it available, that would be very helpful. You can tell us also.
I will. It seems as though the latest numbers, there are over 16,000 cases in Brooklyn as of the latest reporting. 16,488 is the current number. That number may be updated based on the governor's briefing today. Thank you for that question, Mr. Zahir.
And there has been a steady increase as I'm looking over the numbers now. From going back for the last few days, the numbers have increased. Going back on March 29th, we were only dealing with 8,451 cases, and now 1,000 cases in New York City. So the numbers are substantially high for the borough, and if they continue to grow, we're hoping that the numbers don't. We also want the city and state to turn over the testing data. How many cases are we testing in the boroughs of particularly Brooklyn and Queens, where we seem to have the largest number of cases?
We're going to take one more question from Majid Jaral. Mr. Jaral, would you like to ask your question?
And first of all, this is a very good step to spread information, to give awareness people in their own languages, in their mother languages. So I want to start. I am also one of those people who cannot speak English very well. Definitely at some stages, I also feel difficulty to understand the message given by this conference, this session. So I also have a request, if anybody from my community, from Pakistani community, like Mohsin Bhai is here, Hassan Bhai is here, if I speak and if I cannot give a message, that doesn't make a sense that I have a request to them to make to translate it. So I, first of all, besides this COVID-19, people also getting the psychological problems. If they get fever, like any other reason, they get psychological pressure that, they have COVID-19, they affected by the COVID-19. This is just because of the fake news. Is any platform in borough office who can handle the people to give awareness to them that can save them from such fake news? Secondly, as a journalist, I'm also representing here PNN Pakistan News Network, and Pakistan News Network is a part of Pakistan News, which is one of the famous old newspaper in New York. Not only New York, in other states also this newspaper is published. So as a journalist, I also need correct information to give people. Being a press secretary, would you give us true information about COVID-19? Any instructions by email, by any other forum? Do you have any in your plan? Do you have any plan to spread or to convey true information to the journalists so they can pass to the people in right form. Is it?
Yes, and that's a great question. We have a document with basic information around COVID-19, and we're going to update that to talk about the recent announcement for everyone to wear a scarf, and with the CDC's, the federal government, and the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene's position on wearing surgical masks. We'll update that and we'll send it out to you. And if you want to translate it into a particular language, feel free to do so, and we will give you as much information as possible when we receive it. We currently do a briefing document every day when we get information from the state and the city. We can also send you that as well.
So everybody, we have to wrap up, unfortunately, but we want to thank you for jumping on this important call and talking about the needs of ethnic communities during this challenging time. I want to thank you for joining us, and have a great rest of your day, and please stay safe. Thank you all.
Thank you, Jonah, and thank you all of you who joined us.